Hello, we are getting started here soon. Today we're doing the visualization for dreaming, daydreaming. Who doesn't like to daydream? Daydreaming and creating your dream life. So I am definitely a daydreamer, have been since I was a child. Hi, I'm Izzy Nally. I'm the owner and CEO of Izzy Nally Consulting. You may have heard from some of my team members today with Team Inc. So I thought it was really cool. Izzy Nally Consulting makes INC, so Inc. We're Team Inc. So you might be hearing from some of them. If you have selected on the event that you are going and you haven't been able to attend live, or even if you did attend live, we'll send you the replay link. So if you're just catching this, whatever it might be, go over to the event itself, and click going, because that will give us the ability to send you the replay link. So we're going to upload it to YouTube afterwards, and then we'll send it over to you. So you have this amazing visualization meditation to utilize over and over again. So before we get started, we still have a couple minutes. Let me tell you a little bit about this visualization. So this visualization came about by doing a couple different meditations. So I am a certified meditation instructor. I'm also a yoga teacher, aside from having my MBA and being a business consultant. So I do like to tie in this holistic realm. I'm also a hypnotherapist. That's another key point, which I will tell you, mindset is huge. Mindset got in my way for a very long time, as I was trying to grow my health and wellness business. And I realized this huge shift needed to happen in the way I was thinking. And I had these three different meditations that I was aware of and that I was teaching. And I combined them together to create what we're going to do today. What's really powerful is we want to get into that space, and we're going to be doing this a little bit more advanced in our money magnet activation workshop that will be next month. But we really want to get into the space of our future self, our future self that has achieved the success. Okay. And not only do we want to get into the mindset of that person, we don't want to just think like that person. We want to think like that person would be daydreaming of their future self. So I know that's like, how do I? Okay, but we're gonna get there today, and it takes practicing this quite a few times to get to that level. If you haven't been doing any meditation or visualization, um, but it's really getting into the mindset of your future self to say, like, what does a successful version of me look like? How do they talk? How do they dress? How do they eat? How do they participate in life? How do they manage, all of it? Because a lot of times we are so caught in a past version of ourselves, or we're so caught in the current version of ourselves that we're not progressing, because we're trying to, you know, the definition of insanity. We're trying to do the same thing over and over and expect different results. But if you want change, you need to create change. And change happens first in our mind. And once it happens in our mind, then it starts to stir up our motivation or just our inclination to then take action in a different way. So we need to change the mindset before we're motivated to change our actions. Once our actions are changed, then that repetitiveness of actions going into play will create different results. So that's the reason why we're doing what we're doing today. Now, this is a meditative exercise, and I say that because a lot of people, the general public, think anytime we close our eyes and we sit in silence that we're meditating. But there are different types of meditation. Visualization is a more active meditative activity. So we are sitting and we are actively trying to achieve a goal. Now, with this, with meditation in general, I say you don't always have to be in a spot that's extremely quiet. You can have ruckus going on and chaos going on, and that's okay. There is certain meditations, even particularly, that says be in loud, scenarios. But today, for this visualization, because we want to get ourselves relaxed, we want to relax into a comfortable, safe place. We are going to try to be in a space where we have quiet. Maybe it's putting in headphones if you're watching the replay, or if you can have headphones live. Find yourself a comfortable spot. Now, you do not have to be sitting upright like I am in this classic crisscross position. You can be leaning back on something. You can be in a chair. Now, we do want the head above the heart, and we do want some alignment of the spine. So we don't want to be crouched over. We do want the heart open. So as we're here, find yourself a comfortable spot. Find yourself a spot that you can be in for 15 to 20 minutes. So if you know you and you're like, I cannot sit upright for that long, I'm going to start having some muscular discomfort, then by all means, allow yourself to adjust. So don't be too hard on yourself about the whole meditative part of it. All right? So let's get ready to get started. Find yourself in a comfortable spot. We do want to get ourselves relaxed, so I am going to go through a little relaxation first before we start the visualization. All right. So you can have hands down. If you are in your head a lot today and you need some grounding, then hands are down. If you are feeling very tense and uptight and you feel like you need some openness, then allow your palms to be up. Okay? And then let's just start with closing our eyes or looking down at a focal point. And take 3 deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, and out through the mouth. Now continue those breaths. We want to try to encourage our breath to grow deeper, larger, bigger, more expansive. And then we want that exhale to see if you can really release the jaw, open the mouth, release. So we're inhaling all of the new possibilities. We're inhaling hope, love, dreams, success, all the good stuff. We're inhaling that, letting ourselves expand with it. And then on that exhale is where we're releasing the tension. We're releasing the doubt. We're releasing the old ways of being. We're releasing the old ways of thinking. We're releasing any limitations that we feel like have been put on us. Any limitations that we feel like are just present in the world. We're releasing that big exhale. So again, inhaling hope, love, peace, possibilities, abundance, and then exhaling stress, tension, doubt, anything that's blocking us, anything that is restricting us. See if you can start to feel that in your body as you inhale, expand. And then as you exhale, you're softening, you're releasing that tension. And continue with that breath. And if you are not a visual person, that's okay. Just try to imagine the feelings in your body as much as possible. Otherwise, allow these visualizations to become more and more clear. They don't have to be super crystal clear at first. That's okay. You're not doing anything wrong if it's not. So we're going to start with imagining ourselves at our happiest. Whether it's a past experience that you've had, or you want to tune into that, you at your happiest. You where you felt most loved, most supported, most you. Maybe it was you loving and supporting yourself. Maybe it was others loving and supporting you. Maybe it was just a moment where you had a daydream and you felt such invigoration and motivation. You at your happiest, at your most free. You can tune into that past feeling, or you can tune into a feeling that you want to create. Just imagine you. Maybe you see your face smiling. You see your energy. You see your movements. Allow yourself to just keep tuning into that. You at your happiest. You at your healthiest. You at your most creative. You feeling completely and utterly you. Feeling happy, feeling loved, feeling enough, feeling capable. You at your happiest. Feeling free, feeling excited, feeling full of passion. You at your happiest. Visualize that. And notice, you at your happiest, you at your healthiest. What would you look like at your healthiest? At your healthiest, maybe it's imagining, starting from the top of your head and working your way down. Maybe it's you with your hair just the way you like it. Just the way you would want it to be. You, your skin. How does your skin look? For us females or makeup wearers, what does your makeup look like? If you're wanting to drop some weight, maybe you imagine your face a little slimmer. And then notice your body. What does your body look like? Maybe you notice first the clothes that you would be wearing. You at your most successful. You showing up in your business. You showing up in your career. You showing up in your day-to-day life. How would you dress that makes you feel abundant and luxurious and you and confident and loved and supported and happy and successful? So what clothes would you be wearing? What size would your body be? What would your posture look like? What would your posture look like? How would it feel in that body? How would it feel in that body? How would you move differently? And to have that body, to have that health, to have that success, to have that feeling that you're tuning into right now, what habits would that version of you need to have? How does he or she eat? How does he or she feel after she eats that food? What activities are you participating in? Are you waking up early in the morning to exercise with happiness? Are you waking up in the morning and making your green protein smoothie? Are you waking up and meditating? What healthy habits does that version of you have? What do your mornings look like? How do you show up at work? Maybe you're imagining all the activities you would be doing. Maybe you would imagine yourself having employees. Maybe you would imagine yourself interacting with your clients, with your coworkers. As you're participating with them, what is your energy like? What is your confidence like? What is your clarity like? What is your posture like? And as you're continuing to show up in your business and your work, Notice also that we have to have that work-life balance. And in this life, we have the most amazing work-life balance. You're able to take the time off that you need, take the vacations that you need. And there is this balance so that you can show up successfully and do the work. But you can also turn off the work and allow yourself to intentionally show up with your family, with your self-care, with your friends, with your hobbies. Feeling what it would feel like to have that work-life balance. And so now imagine yourself in your ideal home, your dream home. Imagining yourself in your dream home. Imagine yourself walking up to the door of your dream home or pulling up in the driveway in your nice car, and you're pulling into the driveway to enter your dream home. And in your dream home, everything is exactly the way that you would love it. Either it's cluttered or it's organized. You have exactly what you need. You don't need anything more because you can always gain that. You can always purchase that if you need it. That everything's available to you, so we don't need to hoard anything. So we have just that beautiful balance where everything has its place. And as you enter your dream home, imagine what it would look like. Imagine what it would feel like to have just what you need. And know that if you did need anything else, it's always available. And in your dream home, imagine who would be there in your dream home. How would you be participating with these people in your dream home? Is your dream home because of what you want, or is this what someone else has told you? Imagine it feeling a very safe place for you. So if you have a very large home, and if any concern of who's going to clean this huge house comes up, you have the resources to hire someone to clean it if you need. Or maybe you're like, I don't want a large home. I really want a small, cozy home. You get to choose. This is your dream. This is your visualization. You get to shift and change and come to the realizations that you need to discover what it is that you really want in your real life. Maybe you want to be on vacations and traveling all the time. And so this dream home might be different for you. Maybe you're dreaming of living in a new Airbnb or amazing hotel or resort every weekend. You get to choose. No one else can see what's going on in your mind. No one else gets to dictate and tell you if this is right or wrong. This is all for you. So you choose how you want to participate with your family, how you want to participate with your home, how you want to participate with your body and your health, with your clothes, how you show up in work. And imagine your work day, your work week, your work month, your work year. How many vacations do you want to take in a year? Where all do you want to go? And right now in this visualization, there are no limitations. There are no worries about how much things cost or how long you'll be away. Everything would work out perfectly in this visualization. There's no restrictions on anything. We need to allow ourselves to explore this unlimitedly. So exploring, noticing, would you take a vacation every 3 months? Where would you vacation to? Are you wanting luxury vacations? Are you wanting camping vacations? Are you wanting more time in nature? Are you wanting more time to explore? Are you craving time to read? Notice all of these healthy habits. And allow yourself to continue to explore this. And you imagine yourself in this life, like a virtual reality at the moment. You're exploring this life. And you're getting to be this person. How does this person think? What is this person's goals? What does this version of you think about the past version of you? And you don't have to have all the answers. We're just exploring here. There's no right or wrong answers. There's no I don't knows. You can always just hop to a different topic. Allow you to explore this just a little bit more. And we're going to explore this again with how we wake up in the morning, how we proceed through our day. This version of you has no excuses. This version of you just does what needs to be done. To have, to hold, to completely envelop themselves in their dream life. You're full of hope and peace and abundance, and you can have anything, you can have everything in this visualization. Everything is possible. This visualization holds complete and perfect balance. We'll stay here. Just continue to explore for about 30 more seconds. Noticing if anything enters your mind that doesn't make you feel safe or balanced, you release it and you bring yourself back to balance. Bring yourself back to safety. Bring yourself back into love. And again, we're holding on to that very first image that we came into, that image of us at our happiest, us at our most balanced. And now that we're here and you're seeing it a little bit more clear because we've been exploring it a little bit more, allow yourself to bring to mind 2 to 3 words to represent this life. 2 to 3 words that allow you to represent this life, this image, this exploration that you have done. Maybe it was one particular scene that really lit you up. And then what is one word that would really describe how you feel in this space? And allow yourself to say, I am that word. I am in that word. And then just soak all this in so that you can journal about it afterwards. You can type in the comments afterwards. So you can really tune into this and come back to this as motivation, as intrinsic motivation. So as you start to come back, you can wiggle your fingers and toes. You can take a couple deep breaths. Give yourself a little pause. And when you're ready, opening your eyes. And take a moment to type in the comments. What is it that you noticed? What is it that you explored? What is it, maybe an insight that came to you or something that you would like to focus on? Maybe it was those 3 words. Maybe it was the I am. What is it that really rang true for you? What was the difference between your current you and your future you? What did your future you think of your past you, which is your current you? And this meditation, this visualization can be explored from a couple different ways. And we can come back to it over and over. So again, you can come back to this recording. You can practice this again. You can do this on your own time. I highly recommend imagining yourself in your future life and becoming in tune with that version of you, so that the more you tap into it, the more you can become it. And again, we can continue to practice with that. We will be working with not only this, but much, much more, including a regression hypnosis and a reprogramming hypnosis, and working more with our money beliefs in the upcoming webinar, the money magnet activation. If you want some more information on that, if you can't find it on the page, just drop a message, a comment, or you can send us a DM. I encourage you all to be in the group. If you are not in the group, this is the MMBB, or the Million Maker Business Blueprint group, where I have most of my lives. I've published today to a couple different pages. So make sure that you're in there. We have a lot of information. We've got lots of webinars. Next week, we will have a webinar. We're talking about launching your business, launching a course. So we have a guest speaker that will be coming on. And we'll be talking about money mindset even more next month. I have another guest speaker that'll be coming on who is also a subconscious rewriter, as I am with the hypnotherapy. And so we've got a lot of resources in this group. And I encourage you, if you are in the group and you're watching this, like, there are opportunities to collaborate, to do webinars together, to talk about these key topics. That knowledge should be available to all. Our methods and our strategies are what people should be paying for, but general knowledge should be easy to find. That needing help and needing this individual facilitation is, again, something that we pay for. But making sure that we have this knowledge available so that we can all be abundant. So we don't need to be stuck in scarcity mode. We don't need to be thinking, I need to keep it all to myself. We need to be thinking abundantly. And abundance means that the general knowledge should be available to everyone, that success should be available to everyone, that thriving in life should be available, and that there is enough in the world for all of us to have success, to have love, to feel enough, to feel worthy. That is how we collectively upgrade, and it's all available. And we can all support each other, and we can all up level together. So I'm Izzy Nally. Thank you so much for joining me today for this live visualization activity, a meditative activity. Again, I've used this for myself for so long. I mean, I used this meditation particularly imagining myself walking in my dream home, participating in life in my dream home. This is a multi-million-dollar house. How is it that I afford this house? How is it that I participate and manage my day in this world, in this life? And it was so eye-opening once I really started tuning into that, and really seeing how I would have to show up differently. How I would have to participate in my business differently, how I'd have to participate in life differently, how I would have to manage my business. And I began making those shifts and changes because it was suddenly so much clearer how I wasn't showing up like that. And so, not this idea of fake it till you make it, but this concept of awareness and this desire to be a little bit better every day. So in the book Atomic Habits, which is our book study for this month, it talks about this concept of striving for 1% better. And I originally heard this concept in a sales training years and years ago. And it was like, if we could just be 1% better every single day, 1% better. And I began infusing that into my health and holistic business as well, just encouraging my clients to strive for small successes, that we don't need to make these big, giant leaps, that it's the small successes that add up. If we were 1% better every single day, in 100 days, we would achieve 100% better. Isn't that wild? Because most of us are trying to make these giant leaps, and we get so scared that we end up not making the leap at all. Therefore, we make no progress at all. So it's much better for us to make the tiniest bit of progress, to strive to improve just a little bit every day, and you will be amazed at the results that you create. So stop and ask yourself and create this pleasant pause, in everything we do, and say, how can I do this 1% better? Begin asking yourself that over and over every day. How can I do this 1% better? How can I do this 1% better? And as we ask ourselves that, and we can create that pause alone will change your life, first of all. But if we can pause and then ask ourselves, we gain the awareness, and then we can actually do, you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed. That is my philosophy. That is my policy for life. And it's gotten me really far. It really has. And sometimes for us, like, we look at those like overnight success where it was like suddenly this big shift happened. But generally it was those 1% changes that led up, and then it was like you just cashed it all in and it looks like this big giant thing happened. But it's really that you've been doing the work all along, and suddenly everything just shifted because you cashed it in. It was like you go into the arcade and you've got all these tickets and you've been saving them, and then you went and you got what it is you wanted. So we're doing that. We're cashing in. So really work on making those 1% changes. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Izzy Nally, owner and CEO of Izzy Nally Consulting. I've got a couple different groups here on Facebook, so if you're joining from one, thank you for being in the group. If you're joining from one of the pages, I invite you to join the groups. And as always, you can reach out to me if you are looking for motivation and strategy. If you're looking for up-leveling in life or in your business particularly, there's huge growth that happens in your life when you upgrade your business. Please book a strategy call. It's absolutely free. It's our millionaire strategy call. So it's where I give you that blueprint of the next steps that you need, or the key focus areas that you need to up level and create that blueprint in your business. A lot of us, we're getting stuck, or we're just blind to what we're looking at in our business, and sometimes it takes an outsider to go, you were focused on the wrong thing, you need to be focusing on this, or you're doing really great, but you should be proceeding in this, and this is where you really should be in the next 3 to 6 months. So if you are looking for some strategy, please drop a comment. We'll get you that link, and let's make 2022 pretty amazing. We've already had 2 really amazing days this month. We had 2222 and we've had 22222. It's just bound to be a great year. And personally, me myself, I had a baby on the first version of that, the 2222. So she's already got luck on her side anyways. But yeah, so let's really focus on up leveling this year, even in those micro ways. All right, talk to you later.